Okay, there. Now, finally. It's picking you guys up. Now it's picking me up. Oh, so stupid. I don't know why it does that.
No
I don't know
idea.
why it does that. It's something weird.
One day you'll figure this all out, Wes.
Well- All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers of all ages. It's episode 29 of the On the Button podcast. My name's Wes. I'm here with my boys Ian and Trey, as we always are. How's it going, fellas? Trey, what's cooking in your world, man? How you been?
Let's see. I've been good. I've been working like a lot of mind-numbing stuff. I have a bunch of product left over from the last 3 sets, and I decided it's not going to sell, so I just started cracking it. So I opened 5 cases of JTL last week and sorted it and counted it and put it in the spreadsheet. 5 cases.
That's a lot of JTL.
It's a lot. I finished it today, and so I put it all. It's all up today. It'll go on TCG Play probably tomorrow. But for all of my luck, remember how swanky I felt by opening all of that Lawless Time and getting all them showcases.
You opened like none.
Oh, you got skunked, didn't you?
I got 1.
In
out of
5
cases. Yeah, I got 1. And it was a Saj. So it was a Saj.
It was a Saj?
It was a Saj. That was karma. That was karma for how well you played how well your pulls were on the other ones.
That's true. So I've been doing that. My Dungeon Crawler Carl has a new book out.
Oh,
which
your
isn't
boy,
even published yet. It's not even published, but if you follow him on Patreon, which I did for 1 day, he lets you download the ebook.
Very cool.
So I've been reading that. I've been catching up. So I reread the whole series, and it's 7 books that I caught up on, and then I read this 8th book. So it's been a lot of nose buried in a book stuff for a while.
Okay.
And then I'm getting geared up for Easter. I'm excited about Easter.
Yeah,
I love
Sunday.
Easter around here.
Okay.
We have it's a big deal with our family.
Now your girls are too old to do baskets and egg hunts anymore. So what is it that you guys do as a part of your Easter tradition?
Nah,
It's,
you're never
I mean,
too
we
old
all-
for that.
Yeah, 1, you're never too old for that. One.
You just want better stuff in the eggs. Hide cash, baby.
Oh,
We got
ooh, now you're talking.
we have a crawfish boil at a friend's house on Saturday.
Nice.
And
Okay.
she does an Easter egg hunt for adults, and it's got those little mini booze bottles hidden in
Ooh,
the eggs. So that's fun.
Oh, that is a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
And then Sunday it somehow evolved. We don't do a lot of church for our family, even though
Sure.
I grew up very religious. But
Mhm.
Easter has always been super fun and big family thing for us. We have a big sectional that we turn into what we call a square couch, and so we break the sectional up, and it becomes almost a giant bed in our living room. And so then we sit there. My wife makes gumbo, and all 4 of us just sit on the couch and watch zombie movies all day.
Okay.
So
That is that is by far the
Not the
weirdest Easter
theme,
tradition
I
I've
thought.
ever heard of.
well, it's in honor of Zombie Jesus.
Exactly. I know. I get the reference. I
Yeah.
just think it's hilarious.
So that's what we do.
amazing.
And they're let's see, one of my girls is already home from college tonight. She's down on the couch watching the Anastasia movie, the Disney animated movie with my
Oh.
wife. And
From the
That's
90s.
not
And,
Disney.
It's not
Yeah,
Disney.
from the
but
90s.
it's not Disney, but it is a great movie.
oh, okay. I don't
It's a
know.
Don Bluth. I'm pretty sure it's a Don Bluth.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And
It's a
then my
great
other
movie,
daughter
though.
will be home tomorrow.
Okay, nice. Ian, what about you, buddy? Sounds like you've been just working like a dog.
Yeah, working. Got a job. It's fun sometimes, I guess. No, I mean working. Played games on Saturday. Did a draft and a sealed. That was pretty fun.
Oh,
At Walls.
Where'd you
That
do
was
this?
pretty fun.
oh, you got invited to. Yeah, that's right. I got invited
Yeah.
to that, but couldn't go because I was going to be out of town. How
Oh,
was
bummer.
that?
It was really fun. Really fun. Food was amazing.
Yeah, Baldy puts on a great spread in his little man cave up there.
Man, I could have eaten 1,000
Wow.
chicken wings. Big shout out to his wife too, Nancy. She's helping me with a really sick snake. I brought her a snake with scale rot to help me fix it.
Wow.
She's like a crazy expert. She's got like 30
Wow.
plus snakes in that house, man. She's
Wow.
really great.
Okay.
No.
Awesome.
I see where I rate.
So for those of you that don't know, and because one of our local players has got a really great kind of man cave set up in his place, and we did this for Legends of the Force. A bunch of us chipped in. He bought a couple of boxes of cards and then had 8 of us over, and we did like a couple of draft pods. That was the first set that they had announced limited competitive, and so we were just trying to get a feel for, hey, let's draft the set and play. And he put out a bunch of food, and man, it was a great way to kill an afternoon.
So fun.
And it wasn't outrageously expensive, right? Like a couple of draft pods is only like $30, and then if you chip in for food, and it was a great time. So yeah, I would always encourage folks, if you're interested in getting practice for like a competitive limited in a set, man, early in a set, grab a couple of boxes, grab some friends, put out a spread of pizza and wings, and spend an afternoon, have some good time with it. It's a lot of fun. What's been going on in my world? I went to Fredericksburg last weekend. We just hung out with some friends and ran away. We had beautiful weather. Got to grill out some steaks, listen to the Astros come back in their baseball game on Saturday night, which was nice. And went to church go ahead.
Oh, so that's the game where they scored 11 runs.
They scored, yeah. It was 8-run. They had an 8-run sixth, I think it was, but they scored like 11 straight to get to go from six down, being down 6-0 to taking an 11-6 lead. That was fun. So it was fun to listen to that.
I flipped it on right at that moment. And
yeah. It was fun to listen to that on the radio. And then we went to church on Sunday morning in one of Fredericksburg is of course originally a German settlement in Central Texas, founded in about the 1840s, I believe. And so there's the original Catholic chapel is still there. It's very tiny, and then immediately next to it is like a much larger one that they built right around the turn of the century. And when you walk into it, we went to Palm Sunday Mass. I am not Catholic, but most of the folks I were with were, that was either they were Catholic or they were familiar with it. So we all was like, we're going to go to Mass. I was like, okay, sure, let's go to Mass. And so just being in that church reminded me of being in Europe. Just beautiful, right? They imported these stained glass windows from Germany. They've got they're German written in them. That kind of stuff when they built this church. Fascinating to see, right in the middle of Texas. Beautiful place. So we did that, and then we did some other stuff and just hung out and had a great weekend. And yeah, no, that's about it. Easter.
Did you go to any of the antique shops?
No. Well, so we did a little bit of shopping in Fredericksburg, right? Because you do, like, there's plenty of great places to shop. Yeah. There's a couple of neat places I like to go. They had a membership at some winery that we drove out to, and there was like a restaurant on site, and we had a really nice meal and beautiful day. And then we went back to the house later on, and I grilled out some steaks. And so yeah, it was just a good weekend to just hang out, run away, not be in Houston for a spell, enjoy the cool weather. The last of the cool weather for a few weeks. Easter for us is pretty low key. I think my cousin's hosting a Easter dinner Sunday on down closer into town. We'll drive down there and spend the afternoon hanging out with family and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, it's been good. Now we all got so I guess from talking to Ian, we've all gotten the chance now to draft Lawless Time in the last week or so, basically, because Trey and I drafted it this past week at Dragon's Lair. Ian, you had made it, but then the previous weekend, just a few days before that, you had been doing that draft event at Ball Deeps. Tell me how yours went, Ian. How many draft pods did you do, and what did you draft?
We did one draft pod.
Okay.
I played Gin Red.
Okay.
I did my normal mistake.
Wow.
This is shiny, and I took shiny things at times.
That's okay.
There's a lot of cool shiny shit going around with all the hyperspace foil cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great for me for draft. I did okay.
Or the occasional prestige card.
Yeah. I did okay. I went 2-1.
Okay.
I lost to a very well constructed Boba deck.
Okay.
He just had tons of bounty hunters and had he had at least, I think he played 2 of those attack with a bounty hunter, get +2.
Okay. The target trackers or whatever they are. Yeah. Those are great.
Yeah. That was pretty brutal. Really fun to draft. Drafted better than I thought, actually, with all the triple aspect cards. I was still able to put together some good rebels and have some decent synergy with Jin, which was surprising.
Okay.
I would tell you that if you see mastery or collateral damage, just take those cards. Those are game-winning cards. I played my first game. I dropped Kanan down and then immediately played mastery the next turn, and that it was it was over. There's
Yeah.
like nothing you can do. There's so little upgrade hate. Um, and then I closed out a lot of games with collateral damage. 2 to this unit, 2 to the base. Game over. It
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah, that's a great card.
So I would tell you, if you see those go by, like, just grab them. Like, if they're in your pack, just take them. Don't let them go around the table. You don't want them played on you.
Exactly right. Even if you don't take them, you don't want to see them. So I'm with you on that. I think it's actually a reasonable thing to just, even if you don't intend to play it, counter draft it so no one else can have it.
I made the mistake of, and this cost me, is I passed mastery out of my pack because I took a hyperfoil Kanan instead because it was pretty and shiny and a rebel.
Well, I mean, like, what were the stakes? What were you going to win if you won the game?
Oh, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So that makes it right for you to draft the shiny.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
It was one of those things where I'm like, man, I should really take mastery. This is a great card. The next person's going to take it. And it literally cost me my game. It was played against me on Boba Blue. And I was like, that was my card. That was so dumb. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It drafted better than I thought. The big triangles just floated around.
The what?
I think
the death triangle, the big death triangles.
The starter
Oh,
strikers.
yeah.
Like, they just passed right. Lawbringer passed.
Lawbringer is probably the only one that I would seriously consider drafting and playing in a draft. I don't know about you guys. My Lawless Time games historically have not had a problem going to like 7-8 resources. Like, that's not been a problem. The format does not.
Wow.
It doesn't play it like it. I mean, it does depend on your opponent, but in general, you spend so much time. Like, Boba wants to attack your units, not necessarily base race you, as an example. So, like, there's almost always a lot of back and forth combat interaction in one arena or another, and the more of that, the less base race, the longer the game goes. So,
yeah, just played a lot better than I thought. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, cool.
What about you, Wes? What was did you draft? You've
So,
drafted twice now, right?
I have done it twice. I sit in one of the Discord servers I sit in is the Baddest Batch guys, which are Australian. It's one of the Australian play groups. They stream a lot of the events out of Perth and Sydney. And I've gotten to know a couple of them remotely. I think I might have actually met a couple of them at Galactics last year. Anyway, I was sitting there and they randomly, did a blast ping. I think it was last Friday night. Might have been 2 Friday nights ago, where they were looking for people to do an online draft on Protect the Pod. And I had never done it. And I was like, it was going to be at like 10 o'clock on a Friday night. And I was like, well, I'm just sitting around here at home. I got nothing to do. Like, yeah, let's do it. So I pinged into one of the guys that I had worked with on a previous stream and was like, hey, I'm curious. So I was the lone non-Aussie in the group, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. We did the whole thing from draft to build decks to play 3 complete rounds in about 90 minutes, maybe a little more than. The way that's all set up, and copying your deck over to Kara and setting up a private game and sending the link to your opponent and it was super easy to do, and a hell of a lot of fun. I was shocked. I drafted Aura Red. Which I actually have a picture of that deck. I can send that to you, but it actually played pretty well. I ended up 2-1. I forget the game I lost was a really good game. I just couldn't quite get over the hump for whatever reason. But yeah, it was an interesting thing. Drafting the set. Go.
Couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
One, what is Protect the Pod? Can you give me some more detail on that?
So Protect the Pod is a new site that's been added. I'm not sure who owns it. But I know the one of the guys who runs it or owns it was at Milwaukee. I think it's opened since the first of the year. At a minimum, it opened late last year. And essentially, it is a website that allows you to do sealed and draft SWU. You can do solo. Like, if you just want to sit down and be like, I want to work on my sealed deck skills. It'll just, you go in and you tell it what set you want to work with. All sets are available. All 7 sets are in there. And you say, I want to work on Lawless Time sealed. And you push a button and it'll go, great. Bam. It feeds you 6 packs of cards and just random packs and just lets you go and build and play and mess around. Or you can draft. If you draft, you can draft against bots, or you can get 8 other humans and do an actual live draft with 8 other humans.
Nice.
which is a hell of a lot of fun. It was a neat tool. I had never used it, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to try it. They offered it to me. And I was like, I've never done this. I'm curious. Let's try it. And it was surprisingly awesome.
So second question, was it a
Mhm.
lot harder to draft with all the cards being upside down?
It wasn't a big problem at all.
Okay.
I just turned my monitor over and it worked just fine. It was no big deal.
Right on. Right
Yeah,
on.
I've got one of those
That's
fancy
good.
mounts. You just, flip the whole thing over. Super easy.
Cool. Nicely done.
Yep. This week I drafted. For whatever reason, early on I decided I was going to draft into Hera, and that worked out pretty well. The only game I lost was to you, Trey. Your triple haymaker shenanigans. That's another card I'd put on your list, by the way, Ian.
Yeah, I would add that haymaker.
Haymaker's one that
Don't
you
pass
shouldn't
that.
you shouldn't be passing
Just take
up
it
on.
out of rotation.
Either
Just
take
take
it
out of rotation.
Even if you don't play it, just don't let somebody else
Just
have it.
take
It's
it out of
so
rotation,
it's so
yeah.
so silly. So I'll let Trey talk about his deck. I thought it was really unique. It was one of the better uses of the common Han Solo leader that I've seen in limited to this point. I really liked it. He played it very well. I like drafting this set. I think it is a different challenge. I think I found I had more dead cards. It's more difficult. It is more difficult to draft. It's not impossible to draft. There's more work in it. And I don't know about you, Ian. I'd be curious about your experience. The one draft pod that we had at DL this week, we had all of the villain red leaders were available, right? There were 2 or 3 Vaders running around. I opened a Sebulba that I passed off. Nobody played villain red. Nobody. Those cards circled the table. I ended up with them just by default at the end sometimes. Like, it was kind of silly. And I'm wondering if that's because of the leaders or the card. Like, the card pool doesn't feel bad. I don't know if it's just a weird bias or something. Did you see anybody playing villain red when you guys drafted?
I can't remember if it. See, now I'm getting draft and sealed maybe mixed up in my mind, but I went 2-1 and I lost to a Sebulba yellow because he had Sebulba leader and his little ship.
Oh, the pod racer. Yeah.
The pod racer,
It's
and
a good
that
combo.
was a pretty deadly combo.
Good combo.
By the time he just raced the crap, like I didn't pull any of my sentinels. I didn't pull any of I think it was. I can't remember what it was, but I didn't pull any of my sentinels. I didn't pull anything to save me on the ground, and I just tried to race and got pounded. So I think it's possible. I think it's 100% possible.
Okay.
It's just in draft. It's one of those things that like you've got to figure out like, am I playing offense on this pool or am I playing defense? So my rule is if there isn't a card that matches my deck, I'm playing defense, and I'm just trying to take the best card out of the pack. Sometimes I just take the rare too if I'm missing it. But like if you're drafting for real and there's money on the line, like if there's not a card that goes well in your deck, my opinion is always just take out the best card in the deck. Like,
Reasonable.
I don't want this Sentinel played against me, or I don't want this, I don't know, event, even though it's completely off aspect, because you can still play one off aspect card. I think it has to be a unit though, right? Or is it just a card?
Card.
It's just a card.
The base
card.
just
Card,
says
it's just not white or black.
it's not white or black.
So like, yeah, you can play the Haymaker if you wanted out of aspect. So
yeah,
I think it's
you
just
can.
worth taking some of the better cards out and just making them your out of aspect cards.
The other thing to keep in mind is that some cards are powerful enough it can be worth paying the aspect penalty to play them out of aspect.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen people do, like, again, you go back and you look at Mike Gem's games in Milwaukee. He's winning games with cards that are out of aspect for the leader base pairing that he's playing because they're that good.
Haymaker kind of scales in power throughout the whole game. If you play Haymaker on the 7 resource turn, you have something that costs 6 resources that's going to be a big heavy hitter. So
probably,
it's one of those that's probably as good as at a 6 resource card.
Yep. All right, Trey, what about you? You've done some drafting. Tell us about your experience this past week.
So I did thinking about how we discussed last time, like, whoa, what are we going to do with the drafting, and like how we were going to open it. My thought at the time was to take just the best card out of the first 3 packs and see how it lined up with my leaders. My leaders were Hera, Boba Fett, and Han.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Han was the last one I got. He got passed to me. I actually think Han's pretty good in this set. His ability is almost never going to come into play, but he flips at 5 and he has Saboteur, and he's just a 4/5 beater on turn 5.
It's a 4/5 sab.
And I think
That's not bad.
It's not.
I think that I think with 27 point it can go long if you have a leader like Boba that wants you to crash into other units. But I think like some of this lends itself, the 27 point bases, a lot of this lends itself to an aggressive attack. So if you can be the guy that has like saboteurs and aggressive cards, you can race people. And so that's how I built my deck. I ended up, so I had Hera, I had Boba, and I had Han. And so when I opened my first pack, the very first card that I took was Jin, who was yellow and green and white. So it was kind of a perfect opening for me, given my the leaders that I was in that I was really considering playing. I could have opened something in green and black that would have pushed me to Boba, but this matched 2 of my leaders. So I took Jen, she matched both of them. And then just kind of I got some of the good yellow and green cards. I ended up
You had a Falcon.
I had a Falcon. I had cost me the game, but I did get a Max Rebo ban because I thought that was cool. And I ended up 2-1. And the game that I lost, it was because I drew a bunch of cards that I hadn't seen yet. I just wanted to see them go. So I kind of played like the less aggressive line, which one of which was playing Max Rebo instead of playing something that would have hit harder. And then I just didn't draw my way out of it. It's like I have 3 haymakers in my deck, which were all passed to me, by the way. I didn't open a single one. So that probably helped me go 2-1.
Yep, it did. Because I saw all 3 of them in our game. Every single one.
So I started off 2-0. So I was playing to go for the win of the tournament to go 3-0, and I just saw none of them. And so when I make some suboptimal plays because I want to see this guy go, and the other guy's 2-0 and he's playing really well, it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
But I've got my deck laid out in front of me, and I just really like, as much as I hated yellow in Legends of the Force, we talked about that. I think there's some really good yellow cards in here. One, I do think Hera's a bit of a trap because you have to have 2 units out. It's way too easy to keep her off of it. Like I played you at Hera, and I was able to pretty much keep you off of it. I think you might have had one opportunity to play it, and I just killed your guys.
It's true.
With the 3 haymakers I had, but
yeah, that was the
able
problem.
to kill your guys. but I was but like the yellow and the white, I've got the Jin, I've got the 4/4 for 3, the Masasi group Marines, and then there's a bunch of ambush stuff in there. There's an ambush at 5. There's multiple ambushes at 5 with the yellow guy. He's like 5 and a yellow for a guild ambush team, and he's just a 5/4 ambush. Yeah. And then there's a white card at 5, the Circuit Challenger.
4/5 ambush.
4/5 ambush. And
Great
then there's
card.
an ambush at 6, a 5/6 ambusher at 6. And then when you play, you get to like bounce your own guy if you want.
Oh, that's
if you want.
the Mylodon Rider, isn't it?
Yeah, the Mylodon Rider.
Yeah, he's neutral, but he's still good.
Cool. Yeah, he's also still good. That's another reason that I don't think Hera's as good as she might be in some other set, because Hera only cares about like white creatures off aspect, and they're just, because of the way this set is constructed, there are not as many white creatures. There's so many good.
No, that's actually a good point.
Neutral ones. The Cage Elite actually I think is pretty good. I didn't play it as much as I should have, and that's actually I think what cost me the game in the end. That last game is I should have played a Cage Elite instead of the Max Rebo Band. I went for a 1/5 that was going to make me resources when I had a perfect curve in my hand. I should have just played the Cage Elite and then just raced the guy. So it worked really well. See, when I did pass a mastery, so I'm taking green and yellow cards. I passed a mastery, promptly got paired up against the guy that drew it. He played it. I tapped that guy and smashed him and killed him.
Nice.
So because he took a moment to play it, I was able to exhaust this guy. I think I played that was when I played Jin and tapped this guy down.
Yeah, tap him down. Yeah,
and then that was the turn I beat him on. So he played it on Chrysanthemum. He had a huge Chrysanthemum that I was able to exhaust. And
he's
then
10-10. That's nutty.
That's a big boy.
That is a big boy.
He doesn't attack. He doesn't attack whenever I tap him.
If he doesn't attack, he doesn't attack. Interesting.
So it was pretty good. Let's see. It was aggressive. I lost a round. I did get to play with my swanky new sleeves. I've decided those are my drafting sleeves.
Nice.
Ian got us these on the button sleeves, and
he's got them on camera. There you go.
Sleeves.
There you go.
Yeah, for everybody listening to audio, it's just it's our logo on the back of some dragon shields.
Yep.
I do think the graphics, like I I haven't ordered any for some of the stuff that I've done before because I don't like the white outline with the black. But the white and the black and the
Looks
red,
so
I think
good.
It looks pretty good.
Really
You can
good
change
together.
the border too. By the way,
You can give it. You can give it. You can't color it, but you can give it like a different effect. Like it'll be jagged or some other kind of things. However you want to do it.
I think.
All right.
I want to say it let me pick a black border as well.
Oh, that's a new addition then, because I couldn't.
I could be.
Last summer I couldn't do
wrong.
that. Okay.
If I can pick a black border, I've got some Kingwood Hobby
right,
sleeves
we'll have
that are
to-
in the mail pretty soon.
Your mileage may vary, ladies and gentlemen. We'll check it out. And while we're on the subject of sleeves, Ian and I have not yet connected on getting that giveaway put together.
No.
So that's they're 100% coming. We're gonna give away some of these sleeves. We haven't made the time to stop and spend 30 minutes or whatever figuring it out. So that's gonna happen before next episode. We'll get that working.
So, like that was my draft. I ended up with
Sweet.
the Axe Forgets,
Yeah.
and I was able to bounce some stuff. There's the Rebel Blockade Runner, which
That's
is
a great
4
card. Amazing
yellow
card.
white for a 4/5 Saboteur
4/5
in space.
sab.
Like the yellow stuff hits really hard, and it's got ambush. It's got big raids. Like I don't know, I really enjoyed it, and I think it goes really well with Han as the white guy,
Okay.
who just flips on 5 and hits for Saboteur at least once.
He just comes in, is going to swing probably like say at least once, and then maybe he dies. But hey, it's 4 damage that they can't sentinel out of your way. That's pretty sexy.
And then sometimes you get paired up against what's her name? Velma? Not Velma. What's her Vesper? The blue white girl who gives tokens.
Val. No.
No, Val's
Yeah, I
blue
know
yellow.
what
Blue white girl who gives out tokens.
The
I think you mean
leader.
the leader.
The leader, the blue
Oh,
white leader.
Velsartha, who gives
Yeah,
you,
there you go.
who hands you credit tokens.
Who
when she
hands you tokens
yeah,
to
who hands
throw
you
at people
tokens.
for damage.
That's
So
true.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you also were the mechanic that you were utilizing that was enraging was you would haymaker something, attack,
Yeah.
and then sack the experience token for the 1 extra damage you needed to murder something else.
Yeah,
And I
did
was
that
just like,
several times too.
this is just demoralizing, right? Like this, I can't keep anything to stick to the board. This is dumb.
And in that same vein, the rookie rocket jumper is a 1-cost 2/1. That if you pay an extra, you get a shield, and the shield token is a token to throw with.
That's
Han.
true.
So,
I hadn't even considered that, but that's a good point. Yeah.
You can just crash something else in that doesn't have the haymaker token on it. Play this, and then throw the shield token to finish it off.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Just kind of onesie twosie here and there.
Damn it, Trey! Now you're making me want to draft Han sometime. That's just
Han is really fun. I enjoyed him.
Okay.
I will add, because this is something I saw, if you have a chance to draw a triple aspect card that you can play, don't hesitate and take it.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
Like if you have, like you pulled, it sounds like you pulled the Falcon and you took out Jin. Those are 2 triple aspect cards that you can play.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
if those are sliding around. Yeah, if you open them or you get past them, just take it. That's gives you an advantage off the start, because those are really the dual aspects and the triple aspect cards are really, really powerful overall in the set.
They're pretty good. They're good cards. All right. Anything else we want to say about draft before we move on? You guys feel like we got it arms around it?
No.
So fun.
No, we can move on to the next topic.
Trey's so excited. Ian and I are way more excited about this than Trey is, because, ladies and gentlemen, Trey tags us this afternoon and he goes, guys, we got some fan mail that I have got to forward to you. Now, in Discord, you can't hear his tone of voice. Apparently, he was really torqued that he had to do this because his facial expression and body language since then has been very, very upset. But, ladies and gentlemen,
it's just riddled with inaccuracies.
well, we're not, you're gonna get your
story.
You're gonna get your say in just a minute, okay? But, ladies and gentlemen, one of our listeners, and Luke, I'm going to shout you out, sent us a beautiful poem that I'm going to read for all of you here on the podcast, because it is amazing.
I'm going to put my mic on mute so you don't hear me cackle the
Okay,
entire time.
all right, okay. Now, the title of this poem is important. The title of this poem is Ian Was Right. Now, this poem, if you recall the
Can you
previous
repeat
episode,
that real quick for me? One more time?
no,
What
I'm
was
not
the
going to do
title?
that for Trey. I'm not going to do that, Trey. Once is enough. This is last episode. The other two gentlemen on the podcast had a bit of a debate about an interaction that had occurred during a Twin Suns game, and they relayed their stories, and they asked me for some judgment or whatever. And in the end, it was just like y'all big miscommunication. But one of our listeners,
deranged lunatic, is about to be read.
But one of our listeners wrote a beautiful poem about this story. So here we go. I'm gonna try and not bork this because recitation is not. I haven't practiced this or anything. So here we go. 'Twas a grave problem in space and the ground. Trey was the only one left in the round. He turned to Ian and said, "Let's make a deal." Ian replied, "I'll hear your appeal. I'll leave you alone for this turn only. I won't cheat and destroy your Jedi Kenobi. But in return, you must promise me, next turn, you will have to let me go free." Now, I'm the poet, so hear my commentary. This deal is dumb, and my explanation won't tarry. Why make a deal where your end is a pact that goes only one way? This leads to the fact that while your enemy is safe and having his way, all your armies in base are his measly buffet. Kind-hearted Ian blindly assumed this deal wasn't awful and would not spell his doom. So he accepted the deal and thought he was part of a team. Then he took a counter, and Trey ended his dream. The table gasped. "What of your word?" Trey just continued, as if he hadn't heard. Ian was cross and asked for an explanation. Trey simply repeated their negotiation. Trey crossed his arms. "Our deal, you see, was I can hit you, but you can't hit me." "That's what I said," Trey roared with a fist. Ian replied, "I'll add you to my no-deals list. So here I am to settle this fight." Trey was wrong, and Ian was right. A work of art, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to hang it in the Louvre. We're going to frame it. It's just beautiful. Luke, I cannot express to you the joy that your poem has brought at least two of us. So I really appreciate that.
I will say that I have learned something about Twin Suns, and I've learned something that will color my behavior into the future about this game. It's that you people are all freaking morons. And let me rephrase that. People hear what they want to hear, and they don't verify that they hear what you actually said.
We had this conversation. That's the exact conversation we had last week. Exactly.
I know, and this is what I thought last week. And I'm just saying that this will now color me making these concepts, these deals, trying to make these deals going forward. I will have to make sure that I absolutely elucidate that this is the extent of our deal and nothing goes beyond this, because people they don't hear what's said. They hear what they want to hear. And then when you don't live up to what they heard that you didn't say, they get mad at you.
It's almost as if there's a reason in the legal world we write everything down rather than just let people's word, but I said, well, that's not what I heard, and here we are. It's all written down. It's all written down. Of course, then you get into a whole different argument of now we have to agree on what words mean. Boom. Anyways,
fantastic.
We appreciate that. Thank you for that bit of fan mail and the moment of levity here for the two of us. It's been a blast, and I had a blast reading that. So thank you very much. So let's continue on the topic of Twin Suns, not the game that we're talking, not the game in question. That's in the past. You both boys, you got to learn to let it go.
We have played a Twin Suns game since then,
and nobody died.
Friendly.
Okay, that's good.
Nobody died. We were
That's
friendly.
good. That's good. However, we've been getting tons of spoilers for the new Twin Suns decks that are now just right at about a month-ish away. They had a stream this week where they played these decks on stream. I have not watched the stream, but I know a whole bunch more spoilers came out of it. Trey, talk to us. What's the deal? Talk to me about this product. Tell me what I don't know. Tell me what I need to know about this product.
Well, these are fully formed decks. So you're just going to buy this. You're going to crack it open. If you play Commander and Magic, which a lot of people have, and this is their SWO's direct competitor to Commander, you're just going to buy these and open them up and play a game. And if you buy a box of them, you can get one of each and sit down. There's 4 different decks. So you get 4 people, you each buy a different deck. You can sit down and play. They are, it releases in May. Each of these decks are going to be $40 each. And it comes with 1 copy. They may be all new cards, all 80 cards may be brand new in this, because the number of spoilers that we've gotten have started to ramp up. I don't know if it's not. It's a high percentage of.
It's at least a percentage. They're not. I've seen the lists. Somewhere the deck lists for each deck.
Any reprints?
Okay, I have seen the deck list. I have screen caps of them. There are reprints in them, but you're not wrong. There is a non-zero number of cards in them that are unique to these decks. Please continue.
Oh, there's a large number of them. So, one one of the things that I think will drive a lot of sales in this is that these cards are going to be legal for Eternal, and these are very good cards. So if you're interested in playing Eternal, you're going to want to pick up 3 copies of these decks, which means that you're buying you're spending $120 for times 4. So this is, if you want everything, it's going to be
big
expensive.
Ones. 500
so these are
big
going to
ones.
be very expensive on the secondary market.
Yeah.
And these are going to get snapped. I don't know what the print run is like, but I can't imagine that it's super huge. And I just, the rumblings that I've gotten are from hearing people talk about it, seeing people kind of wander by and see us playing with our fully constructed decks. This feels like it's going to be a big launching point for Swoot. Like, it's going to crack open this whole new format, and we're going to have a lot of new players because it just hearing people talk, seeing people online talk about how they've been waiting on this. So I think if you're going to buy them, you need to buy them soon because buy them quickly, because I don't think they're going to stick around. I think they're going to get sold out quickly.
I'm on board with the idea of that they're going to be popular. I'm not convinced that Eternal is going to drive sales here. I'm not convinced the player pool of Eternal players is large enough to move the needle that much. I could be wrong. We're going to find out soon. Eternal events are about to begin, but I will be surprised. Please continue.
I don't think that I don't think that the pool is that large, but I think the pool of people who want to be prepared to play Eternal
that's
large
that's
enough
fair.
That them snapping up 12 copies of this deck, almost a full, very expensive box of this deck,
a lot
of these decks, is that number times the number of decks that they have to buy are going to be a significant percentage of the ones that are printed and released and sold. And then you also have just get the sense that a lot of people are going to be buying these cards to jump in and start playing Twin Suns. And so those people are going to be, I feel like this is going to sell out, and it's going to sell out quickly.
I hope that's exactly what people are doing. I want people to buy these and experience Twin Suns. Please continue.
I don't want them bought and parked for Eternal, though. That I don't like that. I mean, I love Twin Suns. I can't think of a better way to spend an afternoon.
But you can't stop it.
Swoo with my friends. But yeah, I mean,
can't stop it.
I hope they're readily available. I hope you can buy them like packs, and they're just there so that people can grab a deck and have a good time, because it's a great way to play.
Another thing contributing to this is, like, we're on the heels of a bunch of stores dropping this game right before A Lawless Time came out, and so just get a sense that the supply is going to fall short of what the demand is, at least to begin with, and who knows if they'll reprint them. So yeah, I'm going to try to have an event after everybody. I pulled back from a lot of the stuff that I sell at Kingwood Hobbies, but after everybody was disappointed that I didn't have the pre-release event for Lawless Time, I decided I'm going to start kind of doing that. So I have a line on getting a number of them, and so I'm going to try to run an event here for the release event, and put a box out there, put a table, and everybody buys one, and then they go off and play games, and then we'll start mixing and matching. I don't know. It looks like fun, so I'm going to try and do that.
Okay.
As far as the decks themselves, they're all like, if you haven't read them, there's a good article that's been out for a while up on Star Wars Unlimited, but they put it out a while ago, and it's kind of, I don't think it really fell through the cracks, but people were getting excited about Lawless Time rather than looking at the Twin Sun stuff coming out. And they're 4 decks, and they're all Republic era, the whole thing, which leads me to think that there will be another set next year. I can't imagine there wouldn't be, but there'll be another set next year that's going to be set in like the Luke Skywalker era or whatever it's called. So but the first one's a Republic. So you've got Anakin and Padme, you've got Dooku and Asajj, Ahsoka and Rex, and Maul and Savage Opress. And so that feels like they've got a bunch of stuff covered. A bunch of the bases covered on different ways to play the games. And looking at the cards, they just look like a lot of fun. There's a lot of really interesting, the way they're worded is a really interesting kind of for multiplayer, so that you can do something to someone else, and you can, the card says heal somebody's base for 1, and you can kind of like ask for favors to, you want to heal your base, you want to heal your base, or they're a lot of fun. So I've been looking over them. I have a handful of cards. Have you guys looked at the spoilers at all?
Yeah, of course.
I've looked a little.
Do you have any cards that stick out to you as being particularly interesting?
I mean, for me, I really like 5s. I think that's a really cool card, because I think the Ahsoka Rex deck looks really fun. I think 5s looks like a cool card. I think he's like a 5-cost Sentinel that comes out, if I remember correctly. He
You know
looks
what?
pretty cool.
I have my cards all pulled up. And
He's
then I
a
forgot
he's a 6-drop 6/6 with Sentinel.
I can't get over that. I can't get over 666 out of the guy named Fives. It just it
That's-
disappoints me.
apparently
they
that's the
made
joke.
Fives in the regular. Yeah.
All
right.
There's a card in the mall
Ian?
deck. I really.
Did we lose you? Did I lose everybody?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
We can hear you
everybody
just fine.
froze for me.
Oh, you're there. Keep going.
Okay, all your video froze.
Another card that I really like is Brothers. It's a dual attack card.
That one's
what
fun.
does it do?
Really good. That's in the mall. That's in the mall Savage deck. That
What
one's
does it do?
pretty neat. You can attack with 2 units, and they don't take damage for that phase. So you
2
could
unique
really take out
units.
2 unique units. So you could really take out like a couple Sentinels, get a bunch of damage to base, a whole bunch of different actions. If you can do 2 actions at once, that's super powerful in Twin Suns. Like super powerful.
As
and then the
Saw
other one-
Gerrera has taught you.
The other one, I think Trey's pretty high on too, but that's Evade Arrest. Allows you to exhaust any non-unique unit. Anything. Token.
Any number of non-unique units.
Any number of non-unique.
Oh, that's crazy. That's
3
good.
yellow. Like, that's just instant put in
That's
every
great.
Twin Suns deck.
Yeah,
Whichever
it
Twin
goes
Suns
in
deck
every single deck.
that is the one I'm buying. Like, that's the one card I want.
Yeah,
So
That
that
card's
one-
pretty good.
That we played a lot of these games, and just the way that the final turn usually plays out, it's just such a it doesn't play out exactly the same, but there are a lot of the principles involved. If you're trying to save actions and somebody else is going to get the kill, but then you're going to have enough guys stood up to knock off the 5 points plus enough so that you can win. Like they play out a lot at the end of the way that you're trying to keep your guys up, and just being able to exhaust a ton of people it's incredibly powerful. So that's also one of my cards. Another one of my cards is C3PO. Like these are one like
he's just funny.
He's
Funny.
ridiculous.
He's like super fun.
That card's ridiculous.
But he's one of the first guys spoiled. He's a blue and a green, and he costs 2, and he's a 2/5, so he's pretty big. And then when played, you give him to somebody, and then when they have him, when whoever has him, he has an ability that only his opponents can play. The guy who controls this can't.
Any opponent can reach over and use
Any
it.
opponent.
Any opponent can reach over and tap it and deal damage equal to this unit's power to another ground unit. Like that's so, and it's not even like that guy's ground unit. So like I could play this and give it to Wes, and then as long as it's untapped, so Wes like it kind of makes Wes's first action every turn be attack with this guy.
Unless you claim initiative, or the guy on or somebody else claims it. If I'm acting last in the round, 3 people in front of me have a chance to use it before I have a chance to act. So somebody's going to use it.
Yeah, somebody's going to use it, or you can like make a deal and leave it up, and then I can activate it. Or Ian can tap it to like use it on your turn to shoot. It's just super fun. Like
it's a great negotiation
just a fun,
tactic.
crazy
for sure.
card.
Yeah.
And the other one, my third one that I had, I just really like. It's a common card. I get these things where like I got the splashy cards that I really like, but also just like these common cards of Wartime Refugee. It's a 1-drop 2/3. So it's going to be one of those that you can kind of either you play it immediately and have 1 left over to use whatever your leader has, or you play like on turn 2, you play like a 2 on the 3 turn, you play a 2-drop in this guy to get ahead on units. But it's a 2/3 for 1 Twi'lek, and it says on attack, an opponent heals 1 damage from their base. So you could just like make deals to hand out your 1 damage. I'll heal your base for 1 if you'll do this, and that sort of thing. I'll heal your base for 1 if you'll do this, and that is the absolute end of our transaction. Everything after that is back to normal. This is for 1 thing only.
See how he's already learning. He's learning. He can be taught, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm growing as a human being.
Yep.
So those are the 3 cards that I thought were really interesting to look at.
I really kind of like Mislead. Mislead is a yellow event. It's a 2-drop, 2 simple, 2-cost yellow event that gives a shield token out, which is not a common effect you find in yellow. And at the same time, you give another unit -3/-0 for the phase. Historically, events in the game that give out negative attack power have not really been all that popular, right? Going all the way back to set 1, we had whatever the one it was at, that was Jin shooting Krennic or something like this that was, whatever it was like disarm, and it was like, you attack somebody and or make them -4 for the phase. There was a big one somewhere else. Force slow.
Yeah,
I think. Force slow out of JT out of LOF was like this.
But they're usually tied to some other drawback, like Force Slow. Giving something -8 would be great,
But it had to be
if you didn't have
exhausted.
to wait for it to exhaust it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it had to
like
be exhausted.
or like in the first set, you can give -4 with a power action, but it costs
Yeah.
you 5 health on your base. Like
Right.
they're always tied to something
Yeah.
terrible.
What I like about this is no strings attached, and it's a double. I'm getting 2 effects out of 1 card. I can hand out a shield token, and I can give a negative power to something for 2 in a color that doesn't normally get the shield. It gets you have all kinds of other things, but I was like, that's not a bad. That's just a neat, simple effect. I bet somebody can find a good use for that. I
Twin
will.
Suns makes the most average card amazing at the right
Oh yeah.
time.
Oh yeah. It's cards you would never think of that are good are really good in TS. I really like the Darth Sidious. I have no idea, he's probably not playable, not really, not in Premiere or whatever. But I love this character. They keep trying to print one of these and that's playable, right? And we have yet to have a leader version that's any good, a card version that's any good. And so here we're trying again. And what I like about this one, I'm a sucker for a good tribal card.
Separatist.
And this one is a separatist card. This makes all your other separatist cards better. I wish it had been +1/+1, kind of like Dodona and Veers, but this is still not terrible. So I like the idea of it. I'd be curious to see what deck it's in. Actually, I can tell you what deck it's in. It's probably in the Dooku deck. It's in the Dooku. It's in the Dooku. It's in the Dooku Asajj deck, which makes sense. But it's off color. Oh no, it is. That's the 3-color deck. That's their blue, red, green, or yellow, green, whatever. Anyway, okay, yeah. So these are going to be pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to this being a thing. Anything else we want to say there? We got that one.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited about the event that I'm.
I definitely want to come to your event, so
May.
make sure you get that posted so we don't miss out. I will say it's a shame that the sector qualifier in Palm Springs is probably before these are going to be available, because that would have been a really good weekend. There won't be any other events going on anywhere, right? So it'd be a perfect weekend to do pre-release for TS decks or something. But oh well. Let's talk Premiere for a bit, guys. What are you playing that's working for you, or what is it that you're seeing? Out of the tournament results, we've had a weekend of PQs. There's been some decent sized events that have been streamed and been fairly popular. What's piqued your interest, Ian?
I'm playing Luke Datavault. That deck's just fun. It's got pretty good ground control or air control.
Yep.
It's just a really fun deck to play. The
Fighter Pilot
Chewy
Luke?
combo. Yeah, Fighter Pilot Luke. Play a 2-drop, play Chewy on him is like just that's such a broken combo right
ridiculous.
now. It's
so
just absolutely
gross.
ridiculous, especially if you have initiative.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's disgusting. So I'm really enjoying that. I think that's a lot of fun. I'm playing Saw Yellow. That's not any good, but it's a lot of fun. Can't really. I'm really trying to find a way to like establish a board with him so that like on his flip turn I've got a bunch of units, but it's becoming more and more difficult. People realize real quick, like when I played Leia from set 1, if you don't have units to trade
Saul's
off and
blank.
overwhelm into, Saul is just
he's just blank.
worthless.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah, so those are the two I'm looking at. I think the two best decks that I play against in just no matter what, whether it's like air or ground, I think Chewy Yellow is real rough. Having what is he? A 5/4?
He's 5/6.
5/6 on turn 2, turn 3.
Turn 3. The four resource
fourth
round.
round.
On
Four
the
resource round.
4 resource round.
And having like no units to really stop him is really rough. And then what's the other one? Lando Blue is pretty awesome.
That's yeah.
I mean, his flip turn is pretty amazing. It's very difficult to stop getting smashed from that point on, and just bomb. So I think those are probably going to end up the two better decks, I think, in the meta. But again, like, it's going to be hard when you go to a Premier tournament right now, because I think the pilot decks, there's a couple of weird things in just overall general in Smooth. The pilot decks are kind of outweighted right now you could go into a Premier tournament having a ground-based deck and just get piloted to death. You could get Vadered and Luked and Boba'd, and you just never see anything that's really a good matchup for you, right? Space versus ground, it's, you're talking coin flips. Whose deck pops, whose doesn't. Um, all of the upgrade hate is locked behind red.
Mm-hmm.
And it's why, like, every deck plays red now. Like, if you're not, it's very difficult not to play red at this point so that you can have the upgrade hate, because I think it's still really important. So I think those two things are really going to be interesting to watch these tournaments play out, because it'd be interesting to go back and look at, like, if a space deck wins, did it only really play ground decks and never met a space deck? If a ground deck wins, did it never really meet a space deck? Like, what happens when you get those matchups that, like, are just, they're 50-50, or maybe more leaning more towards the space decks? Because I think the space decks, the three of them I've seen, the Luke, the Boba, what's the other one?
So I'm looking at SWU metastats right now, and it is, you're right, everything is red. I'm looking at the top
Yeah, you
decks from
can't.
the second week.
How do you
of
not
Lawless.
play upgrade hate? You just cannot play upgrade hate.
5 events, and every single one of them was red.
Yeah.
There's it was even the Tobias Beckett deck was Beckett red.
Mm-hmm. The only other card in the meta right now in my brain that works as upgrade removal kind of in a weird way is Arrest, which is locked to villain yellow.
Yeah.
But that's a good option, because you can just capture them for the turn. Upgrade goes to the discard pile. They'll get the unit back, but you've cleared the upgrade. Now you can't. I'm pretty sure you can't do that to leaders.
So annoying.
So that's the problem with that one.
Every time I try to play Constructive Lightsaber, I feel like Arrest is played, and I'm just like, ah!
Curse you, tiny toilet. Yeah, no, that's definitely a thing. Now I'm trying to remember with Chewie, can you capture?
Nope.
He can't be defeated or returned to hand. So Chewbacca's ship that he's piloting can be captured, which means that Chewie goes off to the discard pile. So that works for Chewie as well. There are some weird card interact. You're right. For starters, you're right. It is an issue that upgrade hate is very much locked to red at the moment. But there are some weird corner cases with cards that capture that allow you to achieve the same effect as long as you can capture something. Now, the problem is that capture as a mechanic is very sparse, right? There's a couple of cards that do it, and some of them, like the stuff out of Secrets of Power, requires the what is it, like charged with. It's one of the charged with cards, charged with corruption or something, and you have to disclose double green to capture them. And it's like, ugh, this kind of sucks. I'm trying to remember if they reprinted Take Captive in Legends of the Force. I thought maybe they had.
You do have the stuff like the Cantwell Arrestor and
which is just a lockdown. That's a great card.
That's a lockdown, keeps him tapped. So that's a good one.
Condemn's such a good card right now. Such a good card.
Yeah. I thought they had reprinted Take Captive somewhere, but I think it must have been in one of the Spotlight decks or something, which means it doesn't actually. Yeah, it doesn't actually work that way. So now they it was printed in Shadows and Twilight. That's why.
Shadows and Twilight.
That's meaningless then, because those are both rotated out. So that they did reprint it, but my brain had it wrong. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, I can't argue with any of that. I think Lando Blue is going to be the boogeyman in the format for a while. I think Chewie Yellow. I think all those decks you've mentioned, right? Chewie, Luke, and Lando are all really, really good.
So what does Lando do against upgrades?
Honestly,
he doesn't run Arrest. He doesn't have red.
No. Lando plays a lot of Sentinels, and then on his flip turn, just starts nailing bombs at you.
So he has
Libertine.
He has different tools.
Bo-Katan, just bomb. You're just getting bombarded.
He does have some different tools.
As soon as he flips.
Yeah. You've got access to Tree Remembers, which depending on the size of the unit that gets upgraded, you might be able to get rid of things, right? Because very commonly, for example, you play an early drop, and then here comes your upgrade, and then you've got to have something. So the unit is cheap enough. Tree Remembers can get rid of it.
Starting with Lobot in that Lando deck is such a great starter. There's so many great starting openings right now, like Kenobi, the Kenobi 4-space one, the Virgin's Temple
Virgin's Temple Jedi Consular. Yeah.
Jedi Consular to Virgin's Temple to playing a 5-drop is some of the opening things you can do just are very interesting that they can just run away with the game so early.
It turns out, guys, like we've been saying for 2 years, that cheating the economy of the game turns out to be pretty strong. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? One of my frustrations right now, and I'm kudos to Woo, right? He did a video recently. Ophir made a video over on his channel about talking through a lot of things, and towards the end of it, he talked about this because I was thinking about making a video of this. But the overall villain card pool, just the leaders and the villain cards, it's just crap, right? They're just demonstrably weaker than heroism, like across the board. If I was to sit down, and I'm actually considering doing this, and like, what is the problem? I literally want to make a video called "Why Does FFG Hate Villain?" Because when you sit down and start comparing the number of Sentinels and Restore units available to Hero and the number of similar units available to Villain, it's not even like we're on different planets. And it's not as if the villains are being given other things to compensate for this. It's not like there's more Villain Saboteurs to offset the additional Hero Sentinels. No, it's just Villain just doesn't get anything. It's just bizarre to me. As a villain lover, that torques me off. But go ahead.
It's funny because I'm looking at the SWU metastats, and of the 5 events, it's like perfect. Like that, I understand what you're saying, and there's more available. I guess more different ways to play available for Hero. But looking at SWU metastats from the second week, which is the week ending in the 29th, there's 5 events. 2 are villain, 2 are hero, and 1 is neither. So it's like split perfectly down the middle. So
well, sure. For now,
I don't know.
We'll
see where they go.
It's early.
It's early.
My expectation is, I mean, Talzin is going to remain good. Like that's just going to continue to be a thing. That's just the world we live in. Okay, Talzin is not bad. Boba is going to be out there, and Boba is not bad. Boba plus Topple is crazy. Right?
It's insane.
It's like a board. It's like a board wipe. It's like Overwhelming Barrage used to be. It's like a board wipe, right? It's like, oh, you built a board. Boba cares not. Boba laughs at you. That's going to be a thing. Pilot Vader's not going anywhere, in my opinion. He's still going to be around.
Have you seen the new tech in Pilot Vader? I'm sure it's available, like it's been played everywhere. But the you get, what is the yellow Galen?
Yeah, you give him Galen Urso, and then all your units have Raid 1 and Saboteur.
Yeah, I saw that for the first time this week.
Another pump.
Oh yeah, exactly. Just what Vader needed, right? So
just what it needed, right?
Those are going to continue to be around, right? But in general, the villain builds just aren't really interesting or particularly new. Like none of those are new leaders, for example, right? You gave Talzin a couple more tools, so
they feel a step behind, and they
do.
don't feel like they have enough or the right bombs. The decks that work best have the good bombs. Like the reason Boba works, Devastator is a great bomb for him.
Yes.
So, like, there isn't the bombs in some of the other colors. Like, I can't think of a green villainy unit from 7 on that, like, I'm like, oh, I have to play this.
It's bizarre to me.
It's really not there.
That the faction with all the death triangles doesn't really have a good top end drop on the ground of any kind. It's mind blowing, right? So yeah, it's frustrating to put it lightly. So yeah, I'm ready for a new batch, a new set of villain cards. They say we're going to start getting our first look at Ashes of Empire next week. Believe it or not.
Oh my god, that is so soon, bro.
No.
Too soon.
It's
That
not.
is too soon.
They almost always start teasing things a month after the set has come out, and you're almost there.
I totally understand that that's what they do, but I'm telling you, I've started seeing calls for this on Reddit.
I barely know these cards, man.
Yeah. Settle down, people. Just play the cards. Stop.
Here's what they're going to do.
I guarantee you have not explored everything here, unless you were like one of the teams. Go explore these cards some more. Stop.
But they'll start. They're going to start building hype. They're going to tell you who they're probably not going to show you the leaders. They might, but they're definitely going to tell you who the spotlight deck leaders are. Yeah. And that's actually a question we could discuss. I'd be curious because I actually have a guess on this one. Given the subject of the set. So yeah, I mean that's all coming soon. But no, we got a long way to go, right? I mean, basically the entirety of the PQ season is still in front of you. We've had a handful of early events. The first real good weekend of PQs starts this weekend.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. What else we got?
speaking of PQs, I guess I can pimp my own stuff real briefly. I need to get a Patreon post up about this, but I sat down with the calendar at the beginning of, or when they announced everything, I guess in late February, and kind of sketched it all out. And then when Heather came back from Georgia, I was like, okay, here's the events that are possible. Like, here's where they fall on the calendar. And we don't have something else going on. And here's the ones that I actually want to focus on doing. So for the moment, I'm going to be covering 3 PQs. Like, these are on the calendar for sure. The first one is in less than 10 days. It's going to be the second Saturday in April, 11th of April, up in Austin. Game Castle.
I'll be watching from a wedding, by the way. I'll be watching from a wedding the whole time.
Yeah. Game Castle is going to be running a Premier PQ. That'll be the first one in Texas for this set. Since my two local roadies have ditched me for other things, Josh Snyder is going to come help me call that one again, which is great. I love working with Josh, so that's going to be a good time. As you get into May, I've got Biloxi on the 16th of May. I've talked to the owner of that shop. He's rented out like a local community center, so we'll have plenty of space. I'm going to go out there. It's not that far to Biloxi. It's closer than Mobile, and I've done Mobile, and closer than Lubbock, and I've done that twice. So, anyways, I'm going to go to Biloxi and cover that event, and then DL. We've already got the room reserved. Everything here for the limited PQ we'll be doing at Dragon's Lair over Memorial Day weekend on the 23rd of May. So those 3 are already on the calendar. I've got 2 more possibles that are still in discussion. One is the other Houston PQ is on the 25th of April, a premiere one that's up at Comics and Cards in Conroe. I'm driving up there tomorrow to talk to Shannon to look at this venue and try to figure out if there's space for me to fit my setup in there, right? Like, setting up a table with a camera over, it's no big deal, but can I fit the streaming studio in the space, right? I don't know the store. So we're going to go figure that out. And then the guys running the event in Dallas, which is actually in Carrollton on the north side of town, they reached out to me about 10 days ago and asked if I was interested. And so I've been trying to go back and forth with them to figure out what they have for space. They say they have a streaming room on site. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds encouraging. Let's talk about space. Like, how big is it? What's in there? Can I get some pictures or some video? So we're still working on that one. That was a very late PQ. That's the very last weekend of PQ season. That's the 30th of May. So I've got 3.
You missed your DL one.
No, I talked about that one.
Oh.
Yeah. I literally said I'm going to be doing the one at DL on the 23rd. That's the limited one here in Texas. So yeah, so we'll see how that all shakes out. So 3 are on the books. Possibility of going to 5. I'd say probably at least one of the possibles will make. I just don't know, and they might both make. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. With new venues, exploring new venues is always the biggest challenge because I don't travel light. I don't show up with a laptop and a C-stand. Right, I've got a lot more gear, and I do on-site commentary. So it's a whole production rather than hey, can I borrow some power for the day?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's in the works. It's gonna be busy times, but good stuff. I fervently hope that there's some folks out there with some how do I want to say this, different meta shaping ideas, right? So far, we talked a little bit about
seen a lot of the big teams play in the PQs yet, and we'll see what they have up.
Correct. I think of the new leaders, I think Tobias is the one that's most likely to draw the most interest, again, because he's got that economy warping impact to him, right? When he flips, he gets all this extra money to play with, right? You can do some really crazy shenanigans, possibly. I'll be curious to see if somebody kind of cracks that one. So yeah, there's a lot of things. It's going to be an interesting PQ season. Let's just put it that way. I'm glad rotation is here, but I'm glad we rotated a bunch of control stuff out, but I'm not sure where we've settled is in a good space just yet. So we'll have to see how it all progresses.
I think it's going to come down to matchups. It's just what you
get.
It
is. I mean, in a way, it always kind of has, right? Every deck in the game has something out there that's a bad matchup. Everything has at least 1 or 2 bad matchups. Do you dodge them, or do you draw well, or do you play well? Does your opponent not play well? Did they not draw? Like, even if you run into the bad matchup, there's no guarantee that you're going to win or lose, right? It's just, we play the games because people can screw up. The cards could hose you. You might have exactly the right counters you need in your deck and not
Yeah.
see them. Who knows? So, yeah. All right, guys. Was that everything? Did we hit all the high points for the night? Poor Ian's looking at the clock like, man, I got to get some sleep.
Oh, I've already given up on that for the night. I'm just not getting that. That's me dragging tomorrow, working slow.
Oh yeah.
That's just the way it goes.
I'm getting up in the morning. I'm getting up in the morning, driving across town to go shooting for a while, and then I got to go up to Conroe. And I told Ginger, I was like, well, I'm gonna get back probably sometime early afternoon and just pass out again.
That's fun.
It's gonna be a busy day tomorrow. I don't have to work because it's Good Friday. We actually one of the few weird holidays that we get in my office, which is kind of nice.
I get 2 days a year. 2.
Yikes!
You guys have all these Easter plans, and I'm in my head. I'm like, I'm going to work.
Well.
We're closed. Thanksgiving and Christmas. That is it. Every other day.
Do you guys do something interesting for Passover? Do you guys have friends you celebrate with or family?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
It's just my whole Jewish family lives in California.
Okay.
And really, we haven't done much since my grandpa passed away. He was kind of the glue that held that all together.
We have some friends that live not far away that they used to do Seder every year and invite us, and we
nice.
loved going. But unfortunately,
it's a good time.
It's a blast. But since COVID, they haven't done it, and you know, it's not my thing, right? I don't know all the steps, so. But it was always a good time, and we always loved going and trying to help out and hanging out with them. It was fun. All right, guys. Well, let's hang it up, ladies and gentlemen. As always, you can reach out to us at the mailbag if you have more brilliant poetry. I promise you, as long as it's not vulgar.
Oh my God.
I will
it's so great.
Keep it family friendly and we'll read it. Trust me. That was good times.
That was beautiful.
Our usual
So what's
email
the email address today?
I was going to give him the usual. The usual, of course, is just mailbag at onthebutton.xyz. But what's our one of the week? I think Trey should pick it since. No, wait, you got to pick Trey was right last time.
I picked Trey was right
Okay,
last
Ian-
time.
Ian-
The
Ian
poem
picks this one.
said Ian was right, went to Trey is right at on the button.
That's amazing.
XYZ.
Then I think this. I think this week it needs to be Ian was right at onthebutton.xyz.
How about Ian is gullible?
I think in honor of Luke, we need to. That was literally the title of the poem. Is Ian was right. We should call it Ian was right at onthebutton.xyz.
Ian
Love
was
it.
right
Let's do it.
at onthebutton.xyz.
You can see the
We'll
enthusiasm,
get
ladies and
you
gentlemen. If you're
email.
listening, I wish I could express to you the enthusiasm in Trey's eyes as he says this right now. He looks like he's so excited to be reciting this to you. It's amazing.
I am so disappointed in humanity.
All right, guys. As always, if you throw us the like, subscribe, the stars, and all that sort of thing, whatever platform you listen to, we appreciate you. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. We'll have some more to talk about. I'll have a PQ under my belt by then. We'll have all kinds of things to talk about. It'll be good times. All right, y'all take care. Peace. We'll catch you next time.